Good morning, everyone. My name is Zhonglin, and I'm a PhD student in the Mechanical Engineering Department of Carnegie Mellon University. The topic I'll be talking about today is the reasons behind superior water desalination performance of nanoporous MoS2. This work is done under the supervision of Professor Amir Barati Farimani, who is the PI of the Mechanical and AI Lab in CMU. Firstly, I'll start from the background of water scarcity. According to the United Nations research, currently 700 million people are suffering from water scarcity, and by the year of 2025, there will be 1.8 billion people living in the countries or regions with absolute water scarcity. This is a very severe problem. Reverse osmosis is currently the most popular method for us humans to use to combat water scarcity. It involves using a piston to apply external pressure on saline water against the porous membrane. And then the porous membrane will filter out unwanted ions and let through the fresh water. Although reverse osmosis, the RO desalination is very popular, there is a problem associated with the traditional RO, which is the high energy consumption. During the past decade, researchers have found that 2D material membranes, such as graphene or MoS2, are very promising candidates to be used in the RO water desalination. The reason is that they usually have ultra-thin thickness of less than 1 nanometer, which significantly reduce the friction experienced by the water molecules when transporting through the nanopore. Therefore, 2D materials have the potential to boost the energy efficiency of traditional RO water desalination. The motivation behind this work is that based on previous research and our own results, we discovered that although all 2D materials are performing 2 to 5 orders better than traditional polymeric membranes in terms of the permeation rate, MoS2 has the highest permeation rate compared with other fellow 2D materials, including the graphene, phosphorine, boron nitride, and MoSE2. So what is the physical reason behind the superior performance of MoS2? We used the molecular dynamics simulation method to study this problem. This is a simulation system used in this work. It has a size of 4 nanometers times 4 nanometers in the X and Y direction, and 13 nanometers in the Z direction. We applied a pressure ranging from 50 to 300 megapascal on the saline water towards a membrane with a 50 angstrom square pore. The simulation lasted for 10 nanoseconds. We counted the number of filtered water throughout the whole simulation. And by calculating the slope of the filtered water versus time curve, we can calculate the water flux, which is one of the most important water desalination performance indicators. Another performance indicator, the ion rejection rate, is the ratio of ion being kept out from the fresh water zone after the simulation ends. We can see that at almost all pressures, MoS2 constantly has higher water flux and similar ion rejection rate compared with other 2D materials investigated. To unravel why MoS2 has a higher water flux, we investigated the water structure and dynamics near the membrane. The water density profile near the membrane in both saline water and freshwater sites shows that the water are less packed near the MoS2 membrane surface. We also plotted out a kernel density estimation figure, the KDE plot, of water molecules near the membrane. In the KDE plot, higher color intensity represents denser water packing. The KDE plot shows that a less dense accumulation of water molecules near the MoS2 membrane. Because the static pressure is scaled with the density, the water back pressure is lower for MoS2 membrane, enabling a facile permeation of water molecules through the pore. Then we also calculated the energy barrier on water molecules when they pass through the nanopore. The potential of the mean force PMF profile is calculated using the equation shown here. Fr is the PMF at distance r from the pore center. The capital R is the gas constant. T is the temperature, and the rho r is the density of water at distance r from the pore center. The PMF is calculated in equilibration simulation with no external pressure applied. The peak PMF of MoS2 and MoS2 is lower than that of graphene, boron nitride, and phosphorine, which indicates that the energy barriers of MoS2 and MoS2 are less for water molecules, thus facilitating permeation and transport of water. The water flux Q through the nanopore can be estimated by the product of water density rho, in-pore water density rho, in-pore water velocity V, and cross-sectional area A. In this case, written as Q equals to rho VA. In this work, the cross-section area of all nanopores are designed to be approximately 50 angstrom square. Therefore, the materials with highest water density and highest water in-pore velocity can have the highest water flux. The in-pore water velocity profile shows that the water in MoS2 pore is more evenly distributed. Although the peak water density in MoS2 pore is less than graphene, phosphorine, and BN, the average water density in MoS2 pore is 0.94 grams per centimeter cubed, which is the highest among all materials investigated. And for the in-pore velocity, in-pore water velocity, the MoS2 has the highest peak velocity at the center of the pore and also at the edge of the pore compared to other materials. The combination of higher in-pore velocity, water density, and velocity leads to greater water flux through the MoS2 nanopore. So in conclusion, we found that MoS2 has 20% to 38% higher permeation rate than other 2D materials such as graphene, phosphorine, boron nitride, and MoS2. It also keeps the same ion rejection rate compared to the other materials. Using the MD simulation, we discovered that the high permeation rate of MoS2 is a result of 4 reasons, including the last packed water layer near the membrane, lower energy barrier of water, higher in-pore water density, and also higher in-pore water velocity. The detailed information of the simulation method is covered in the published paper of this work on ACS energy ladders. Thanks so much.